President Buhari is a disobeyer of court order, says the Supreme Court. Hello everyone, welcome to Newsport TV. The Supreme Court has adjourned President Muhammadu Buhari, a disobeyer of court order over his handling of the federal government's currency notes redesign policy. A 7-member committee of the court, led by John Okoro, made the pronouncement on Friday in an anonymous judgment on a suit filed by some state government to challenge what they described as the federal government's demonetization policy. The disobedience of orders of court by the president in a constitutional democracy as ours is a sign of the failure of the constitution, and that democratic government has become a mere pretension and is now replaced by autocracy or dictatorship. Emmanuel Agim, a member of the Supreme Court panel, said in the court's lead judgment, the policy introduced by the Central Bank of Nigeria, CBN, in October last year includes issuing newly redesigned 200 naira, 500 naira, and 1000 naira banknotes and withdrawing their old versions from circulation within a short period. It initially set 31st January to end the legal tendered status of the old notes, but had to shift it to 10th February when it was obvious that the CBN lacks the capacity to supply enough of the new notes into circulation. The policy approved and directed by Mr. Buhari has led to the scarcity of banknotes, and this has in turn created chaos, disrupting economic activities and bringing hardships to millions of Nigerians in a cash-dependent economy. 3 state governments, Kaduna, Kogi, and Zamfara, sued the federal government at the Supreme Court over the issue on 3rd February 2023, seeking an order invalidating the policy. On 8th February, 2 days ahead of the 10th February deadline set by the CBN to end the use of the old 200, 500, and 1000 naira notes, the Supreme Court granted an interim order suspending the implementation of the policy. The court ordered that both the old notes and the new notes should remain legal tender pending further hearings in the suit. Buhari's disobedience. But in violation of the court order, President Buhari, in a broadcast on 16 February, restored the validity of the old 200 naira notes and insisted that the old 500 naira and 1000 naira banknotes had ceased to be valid. It is not in dispute that the first defendants refused to obey the said order. The President's 16 February national broadcast, reproduced here on page 27 to 31, demonstrates this disobedience, Mr. Agim said. He added, in disobedience of the order, he directed that only the 200 naira notes should be recirculated. Interestingly, there is nothing to show the implementation of even that directive. I agree with the ninth plaintiff that the first defendant is not entitled to be heard by this court when it has refused to respect the authority of this court and the authority of law from which the authority of the president and the government of Nigeria derives. Mr. Agim said Mr. Buhari's disobedience to the court order makes democratic governance illusory. The rule of law upon which our democratic governance is founded becomes illusory if the president of the country or any authority or person refuses to obey the orders of courts, the Supreme Court added. The court invalidated the policy on Friday as it was issued by the president without consultation, as expected in a democracy. The court then extended the validity of the old notes till 31st December 2023 and ordered that they remained legal tender alongside the old notes up till the new deadline. Mr. Buhari, a former military dictator with a poor human rights profile in the 1980s, campaigned to be elected as a democratic president in 2015, promising that he had become a reformed Democrat. But since coming to office in May 2015, Mr. Buhari has hardly lived up to his promise, as his administration consistently picks and chooses which court order to obey in the last 7.5 years of its coming to power. The Friday's pronouncement was the first time a court would specifically adjudge him as disobedient to a court order. And as the Supreme Court said, that he chooses and picks the order of the court that he wants to obey or not obey. that this is not a good one for democracy, and it doesn't speak well for a democratically elected president in a civilian administration to brazenly, flout the rulings of a court, especially the Supreme Court of Nigeria. And this has been a cause of discussion, which has shown the inner battle that has been fought within the APC, because the people who were known for being inner caucus to the president, like Governor of Kaduna State, Nasir El-Rufai, Kogi State, Yahaya Bello, and also Bello Mazawale of Zamfara State, who were the ones in the front, where other states like Ondo State, Lagos State also joined in the suite. When the Supreme Court made this pronouncement that both old and new Naira notes should be used alongside till the 31st of December 2023, El-Rufai came out of the court to address Nigerians that they should please go ahead and spend both the new and the old Naira notes as the court has just ruled. And that's the only thing we've heard. We've not even heard from the president, and it's about almost going to 48 hours now. We've not heard from the CBN governor, Godwin Emefiele, if the ruling of the court is what we should all go by. So Nigerians are actually hanging, and this seems to be the most confusing government ever in existence. What's your opinion about Supreme Court's statement that President Buhari is a disobeyer of the court? And honestly, as the tail end of this administration is here, a lot of stock taking is taking place to say what are the core strengths of this administration and what are the weaknesses. But it will be in order to say that the fuel scarcity and the scarcity of the newly designed notes or any notes whatsoever in circulation has made Nigeria to be very pissed off with the APC as a political party in government. Please drop your constructive comments in the comment section below. Thank you so much for watching. Remember to like, share and subscribe to our channel. To our new subscribers, thank you for joining, and to existing subscribers, thank you. See you in the next video. May God bless Nigeria.